Hello, today we are going to be making cinnamon rolls for one person. So make sure you grab all of your baking ingredients and let's go ahead and get started. So first things first is you're going to go ahead and need tangzong. I already have some pre-made. Basically all you do is use 16 grams of all-purpose flour in a saucepan and 120 milliliters of milk. You're going to go ahead and put it on the stove, medium-low temp, for a few minutes until it creates like a paste is how it's going to look like. And you're going to go ahead and set it aside until it goes into room temperature. In a small bowl, you're going to need 120 milliliters of water. Make sure it's between 100 degrees to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And then you're going to need 6 grams of yeast. You're going to go ahead and quickly mix it and then set it aside for 8 to 10 minutes, at least until it starts foaming. All right, so now to get started on the dough, in a separate bowl, we're going to use 70 grams of all-purpose flour and 70 grams of bread flour. All right, so we're going to use 25 grams of sugar. You can use whatever sugar you want. This is my preference. Okay, so now we're going to use 7 grams of cocoa powder unsweetened. Make sure that it is unsweetened. Now we're going to use dry milk powder. So we're going to go ahead and do 12 grams of dry milk powder. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and use an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Now, because this is a small recipe, we're going to beat 1 egg, and you're going to use only 25 grams of a large egg. All right, so now is the time to add your tangzong, which is about 130 grams to 135 grams. Now is the perfect time to add your yeast mixture. I'm going to go ahead and add that and then go ahead and start mixing. I have this bread dough mixer, which I think is really good. All right, now that they're slightly combined, we're going to go ahead and add 21 grams of butter. We're going to go ahead and knead this dough until it forms a nice, soft, elasticy dough. If for some reason it doesn't come together, you can always feel free to add more flour. I'm gonna butter the bowl and then I'm gonna place the dough in there. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover this up with some plastic wrap. I'm gonna place it in a warm place, which is most likely my oven. And then we're gonna let it rest for about an hour until it doubles in size. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the filling while the dough is getting ready. We're going to go ahead and use 40 grams of brown sugar and then 20 grams of softened butter. We're going to go ahead and mix the brown sugar with the butter really quick. Okay, so this is basically what I have. It's like a nice little paste-like. Go ahead and add 3 grams of ground cinnamon. All right, and I guess we'll just go ahead and mix it all together. This recipe calls for 7 grams of cocoa powder, and if you really love chocolate and you want it in there, you can go ahead and add the 7 grams of cocoa powder, but I'm not going to do that just because I feel like it's going to be a little too much for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do 20 grams of mini chocolate chips instead. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a tiny bit of flour and then we're going to start rolling it. So I did try and make it as long as I can, but also very narrow because it is going to be only 2 rolls. We're going to go ahead and spread the filling here. I'm going to go ahead and roll it. And we're going to go ahead and just cut it in half. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place the roll here. You can squish it down a little bit so it's not sticking out too much. Same thing with the other ones. And then we're going to go ahead and cover it up and let them rest for 30 minutes. And while that's resting, go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Okay, so they are ready to be baked. So we're going to go ahead and bake them for 18 minutes. And then while they're baking, we'll go ahead and work on the frosting. So for the frosting, it asks for 60 grams of powdered sugar. I feel like that's a little too much. Cut it in half to 30. All right, so we're gonna do 7 grams of cocoa powder. And then we're gonna go ahead and do 2.5 milliliters of vanilla extract. All right, and we're gonna do a little pinch of salt. And then of course, the last thing is going to be 15 to 30 milliliters of milk. I'm gonna start with 15 milliliters. And then depending on the consistency, I'll add more. I'm gonna go ahead and mix it. I'm gonna whisk it here. All right, so this is roughly what I have. So they're done baking and they came out so big. Oh my gosh, you guys. Holy cow. Look at that. I can't stop laughing. I think they're so big. I'm just gonna drizzle it on top. Just like that. Looks so good. Oh my gosh. They're huge. They are so big. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yum. They're so soft. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This proves just how good it is. Very chocolatey. You can easily say this is definitely for 1 or 2 people. They are ginormous. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.